Matilda the Musical Jr debuted at the People's Theatre on the 20th of June, and it will be running until the 27th of July at the Joburg Theatre. Now, the story, it follows the extraordinary journey of a bright young girl named Matilda, who possesses telekinetic powers and a fierce desire for freedom. Now, despite a challenging home life with parents who see her as a nuisance and a school run by the formidable Miss Trunchbull, Matilda discovers her own strength and determination. This as she learns to wield her special powers. While she sets out to teach the grown-ups a lesson or two, of course, also find her true place in the world. But perhaps for more, let's be joined by our director for this, Jill Girard. Jill, very good morning, and thanks for your time at this hour.
Good morning. Thanks for speaking about Matilda.
Well, it's an exciting time. I mean, it's a age-old classic that we all grew up with. And if we're even just looking at the inspiration behind the People's Theatre choosing Matilda the Musical Jr for their first ever production of this kind, tell us a little bit more about that creative process.
Well, it was such an exciting new project to do, which made new sets, new costumes, and a group of the most talented, amazing children. We've got 30 children, and they divided into two groups, which is still a lot of children on our small stage. And that has been exciting because they have been positively amazing.
Well, Jill, I mean, because you've engaged both children and adults, and you're delving into themes of self-empowerment and freedom, talk to us about what it was like really working with, people of all ages, the challenges perhaps you also anticipated in staging this musical?
The challenges were there, but the children picked it up. And as did the adults. The adults couldn't believe the subtext in Matilda, how if you have a story that's been preordained for you, you can change your story. Just because you're in a certain situation, it doesn't mean to say you have to stay there. And everything can change, and it all depends on you and your self-determination, which Matilda makes happen. She has the most awful family, and her circumstances are really dreadful. And this she manages to change and engage with some of the good people around her, like the librarian and her teacher, Miss Honey. And eventually she gains all the power and manages to do this on her own.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even it just reminds us that knowledge is power as well. And within, harsh circumstances, there are pockets of love and support that exist. And I wonder if we're looking at the production, the original production, and the adaptation this time around. I mean, are there any unique elements or surprises that have been planned for this particular production?
Well, there are lots of tricks. Matilda's tricks that she does with her eyes. She says maybe she's got too many brains that's squished out of her eyes that make things happen. Matilda says things that all children can relate to. And it was really interesting with our first audiences to see how the children actually in the audience reacted to the humor, and they got it. We have 3 Matildas, and every one of them is totally different. And that's exciting too. And it's exciting for the professional actors because every Matilda reacts in a different way, which makes them react in a different way. And it all makes for an exciting production. So every single show is different.
Jill, I'm so glad you've spoken to how the cast and the crew managed to bring out that clever humor, because obviously that role play, I mean, that's central to the storytelling that Roald Dahl, incorporates. Tell us a little bit more about how it also aims to honor the original book whilst adding to that theatrical touch as well.
Well, it does. It keeps all the elements in the book. The parents leave and go off to Spain with Rodolfo, the dance teacher, who's the mother's absolute idol. And off they go to Spain, and they decide to leave Matilda with Miss Honey She's going to pay for everything. And the most marvelous thing is that they are happy because they found each other. And it's about people finding like-minded people and finding each other and making things work because of the synergy that two people have.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if we're even just looking at the broader takeaway that you want audiences to walk away with, even just supporting the People's Theatre as well. What goes into that as we wrap up?
We'd love them to support the People's Theatre. The People's Theatre is an organization that brings theatre to all people, parents and grannies and uncles, aunties, cousins, all of them. Come to the People's Theatre because of bringing their children. And eventually they find that the theatre is a really nice place to be. And they enjoy everything. They enjoy engaging through their children. And the children become very much part of the production, engaging with it. And if the show has participation, they are the first there to participate. What I'd like the people to go home with, watching Matilda, is you can do it. You have the power within yourself to make things change, to make things happen. And you have to grow that confidence inside you. And a small child can change the world.
Well, that inner child always knows, Jill. Thank you so much for your time at this hour. We'll leave our conversation there. Director of Matilda the Musical Jr, Jill Girard, talking about the musical, of course. As you heard it, it's running until the 27th of July. Thanks again to her for joining us at this hour.